Wait a minute. Perfect. Right. I'm going to start my presentation today. So, first of all, I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Putri Maswarandari from Universitas Pendidikan Garuda. So, in this occasion, I'm going to present my manuscript entitled Developing Idea Through Study Jumper, a technology-based learning in writing skills. Right, we move to the next slide. So there are four main topics that I'm going to discuss. The first one is introduction, method, result and discussion, and also conclusion. I start the introduction with writing. So as we know that writing is the one of productive skills, and also writing is a difficult skill that students must have required side competencies to produce an appropriate output. According to Anggraini in 2021, the most challenging aspects of writing for students in development is developing idea. Besides, the students didn't know how to manage their thought into coherent paragraphs. So writing has typically been seen as a difficult skill in learning English, particularly by students who are bored with outmoded traditional teaching method. So based on this case, teachers have to think that how to solve this kind of problem. So as we know that in this 20th century learning, we can integrate the learning activity with technology. Right. According to Santosa, Ratnamisi, and Atmani 2021, in the 21st century, learning paradigm impact the process of learning activity through technology base. One of the technology that we can use this kind of application that is Study Jumper. Actually, this paper aimed to determine the effect of technology-based learning used in the writing skills through Study Jumper. Study Jumper was chosen as a learning tool because of its easy access. Students can develop their idea, be creative to make a good and innovative study script. The feature facilitates the student with innovative learning media and also learning. Right, we move to the method. So in this study, I used a qualitative approach which determined the effect of using Study Jumper as a technology-based media to build idea in students' writing skills. The data collection technique here, I use library research. So I collect some previous sources from previous researchers. And the data analysis technique used in this study is a qualitative data analysis, where in this study, the opinions passed by experts regarding the learning media. These data are used as the basis to strengthen the author's argument in analyzing the effect of Study Jumper. Right, we move to the result. So it's quite easy because it's kind of library research. So I will show some previous study that already conducted that discuss about the use of Study Jumper and writing, especially in developing idea. So what is Study Jumper actually? Study Jumper is a tool used to create mini books easily. This application provides students with a short story with a free pictures, characters, and items. Visual storytelling has a power to facilitate the development of writing in language classes, where the process motivates them to develop their idea, to make more creative writing practice, and help students overcome the writing cycle difficulties. So here, Study Jumper also gives students opportunity to develop their idea in writing through references that they have read, selecting characters, pictures, and items. So Study Jumper has some features. Is quite only I was sure here, but actually there are a lot of features that provided by Study Jumper. So the first one is template. So here students can choose the template that they are want to use. So it's already like blank template. So students can make a template based on their creativity. And also there is like another template. So after we move to the first page, there is text. So here students can make their title of the book with the some text that already provided by Study Jumper. And also props here like characters. Students can make their own characters. For example, like if the character's antagonist, they can make how the character face itself. For example, like quite angry, so they can make the kind of face. And also scenes. Scenes here is like the background of the book. For example, it's kind of narrative story. students want to take place in the forest. So students can also choose their scenes based on the setting that they want. Right, and also there is a pictures of photos. Students can upload their photo or pictures based on what they want, and also voice. So voice is used to what's that? To tell the story. Beside the students can read, the student beside the students can write. Students can also record their voice first to make like this is the storyteller book. Now we move to the another result. So media effectively contains material and is simple to utilize in learning activity. The benefit take effect in the achieving learning outcomes and their practically. Overall, Story Jumper is engaging and attractive in a various ways. Students' sense of power and creativity and their writing skills improved when they used online digital storytelling sites, and they were able to produce unique and inventive writing. So besides that, the students likely have difficulties in developing ideas that arose from lack of writing abilities, such as conceptualizing. So they overcome this difficulty in writing once they were allowed to choose different account title and photos available. Sharing story with the rest of the world, viewing themselves as a part of broader network is really important, which help them write more authentically. And storytelling serves us as a powerful tools in order to enhance learner engagement and develop learners' writing skills. Digital writing could be an alternative to traditional teaching method that is crucial to integrate technology in learning environment and more student-centered approach. Right, we move to the next slide. So this is a positive attitude of students in building idea in writing, and the process of applying writing skills can be improved so that there are no more confused students in building idea and writing easily. The use of Story Jumper as a digital media as a part of learning also greatly influence students. Right, now we move to discussion. So the effect of employing learning media in education facilitates the teaching and learning process of students and teachers, which can increase students' motivation to learn. Story Jumper has a capability to improve students' learning effectively in language classes by inspiring them to develop their idea, write more creatively, and assist them in overcoming challenges of their writing cycles. According to Demo Fund data on 2018, examined that perception of young students and process of developing idea in writing through the use of Story Jumper. The findings show that a significant contrast between the writing development of young students before and after receiving the treatment. So in addition, most of students admitted that their experience using Story Jumper was positive. This activity aimed to make students understand, develop digital story, and improve students being creative in creating story and help students in developing their idea in writing. Now, we have advantages and disadvantages of Story Jumper. So the advantages, the first is we can create a story about anything based on engaging graphic. Help the students to write and illustrate their own stories, and also it is an application that brings stories to life. And it's great tools for a writing center, and also it can as a reading center for the children. So besides that, there are also disadvantages. The first one is the reader can spend amount of money for those who want to order the version of it, but it can change this disadvantages because if you write this story in the Story Jumper, you can gain money from these rules in the Story Jumper. And then another weakness is when the teacher wrote the Story Jumper doesn't provide the grammar response. We can solve this kind of problem or disadvantages by checking the grammar first at the Grammarly, for example, so we can write the correct one in the Story Jumper. And also, it's quite easy to use, but it's still needed the help from teachers, especially for the younger students. But it's good for junior high school students and also senior high school students, I think. So it's for students. So we can mentor the students at first, so they can make their own. What is that? Story Jumper. Story in the Story Jumper. Now we move to the last session, that's conclusion. So the existence of technology-based learning media makes it easier for a teacher to carry out the teaching and learning process. One of them is Story Jumper. So Story Jumper was chosen as a learning tool because it's easy to access and students can develop idea, be creative and creative to make a good innovative story script. The positive attitude of students inform some researches that have been conducted in developing idea in writing, and process of writing writing still can be improved so that they are no more confused students in building idea and also writing data. So that's all for me. Thank you so much for your attention. Hope we have discussion later on. So I hand back to the moderator. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Well, it's really awesome for today. Nowadays, we will to the next sessions, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, the second speaker of the parallel session will be Mr. Muhammad Khairul Fahmi from Universitas Muhammadiyah Sumatera Utara. He will deliver the material about digital gamifications in education learning, research map mapping through bibliometric studies using FOSS viewers. Now, please allow me to kindly invite His Excellency, Mr. Muhammad Khairul Fahmi, to proceed to the stage to deliver the presentations. Mr. Khairul Fahmi, please. Mr. Khairul Fahmi, are you here? All right. I think he has a little bit trouble with the connections from the internet. So we will call another answer. Oh, all right. Thank you. Thank you very much for the committee. I will move to speaker of the parallel sessions will be Miss Desi Rusmawati and Miss Istanti Hermagustiana from Mulawarman University. They will deliver the material about enhancing students' reading comprehension performance through cooperative integrated reading and compositions of pre-service teachers at English of Mulawarman University. Now, please allow me to kindly invite Miss Desi Rusmawati and Miss Istanti Hermagustiana to proceed to the stage to deliver the presentations. Miss Desi and Miss Istanti, the time is yours.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Rasi, for the opportunity. Is my voice audible?
Actually, it's quite clear, ma'am.
Clear, yeah. Because it's heavy rain in Samarinda right now, so I'm afraid that my voice cannot be clearly, yeah. But hopefully not. Yeah. Okay, so please allow me to share my screen. Yeah. Thank you very much for the opportunity given to us for presenting our research, yeah, with the title Enhancing Students' Writing Performance through Cooperative Integrated Reading and Composition of this PRRC of the Service Teachers at the Department of Development University. So it is one of our classes research during writing course in third semester. So the presentation outline. Yeah. The background of the study is the design, findings, discussions, and conclusion. So while we are interested in the study, because during our observations, we found that our students' writing performance are very, very low. Since they have difficulty on elaborating the ideas, and then they also have difficulty in modeling the sentence structure. And then at the same time, we also doing lecturing and doing teaching in education for professional teachers. And then we found that the teachers think that teaching writing should be done isolated from other skills, because they thought that writing takes lots of time and then it's very time consuming. And then they claim that they have time to teach writing, and then it's not possible for reading to be taught integratively. But we thought that learning together is more enjoyable than learning alone, meaning that when we do these skills together cooperatively, I think we could get something better than when we do it alone. So here in our university, and of course, it also applies to other university as well, that students at university level, they are expected to produce academic writing. In the end, it's going to be their thesis or their dissertation here. And then in their level, writing is frequently described as an activity in it assists students in transforming their thoughts in things, and then they should be able to generate new ideas in which they draw on previous knowledge and then showing their complex mental processes. But then we know that to write an academic.
Izin sebelumnya Bu, mau pindah dulu. Saya mau pindah device dulu Bu, sebab ternyata ada permasalahan di kameranya nggak bisa on cam.
Okay.
Jadi saya memburu banget.
Yeah.
Saya leave dulu ya.
Okay. Yeah.
It's okay.
So may I continue?
The presenter can continue the.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So we know that write and academic writing is not easy as to say something for mind. And then when saying something, we can utter some sentences directly without thinking deeply, as in writing. But in writing, we need to consider the coherence of the sentences. And then it's true that writing as a skill that needs continuous process. To write something, it cannot be done by doing it at once only, but it needs some revision and editing process as well. So here, writing we define as the continuous process, which is involving reflection, improvement, development, progress, and hope of various types and varying issues. And then, therefore, we thought that the writing process for university students in an available classroom requires deep attention. The ideas should be agreeable and then seems as the most essential aspect of writing. And then, providing you the information that CIRC is the established a school-based curriculum that address reading and writing they done in the simultaneous way. The direct teaching in reading comprehension here, story related activities and integrated writing instruction are the main curriculum features or the main activities that done in using CIRC. Here, in this activity, each student is matched with another students before being allocated to a group with similar or contrasting reading level. So before this, we did diagnostic tests to map their competence. And then all the learning groups, they doing all the activities collaboratively. And then since this is a classroom action research, the exercises are structured in a cycle that includes here a teacher presentations, team practice, peer assessment, peer pre-assessment, extra practice, and testing. Students are encouraged to collaborate and assist one another. Since here, this model also adopt STAT, student achievement team division, meaning that individual evaluation results are averaged to produce team score actually. So that's what I've already mentioning before, that this study utilized classroom action research and then it conducted into cycles by following Chemist and Metagard model consisting of 4 stages: planning, actions, observation, and reflection. And then we work together with third semester students, and then the instrument used in this research were writing tasks and then classroom observation. At the end of each cycle, the students produce a critical review of journal. And then this is what we found. So this is done in more or less 15 methods. So on the first phase, the first 2 meetings, students were asked to to write a composition of skill learned at university. So this is like pre-writing. And then what we got from this activity, the average score was 65. And then we thought that it is considered fair. So after analyzing the data, we found that students lack content knowledge, and then they had difficulty using appropriate sentence structure. So that's why we then goes to the second phase. In this one, we conducted CIRC, and then when we did this on the second 4 meetings, the average score for writing performance was 74.03. Although it already improved in certain ways, but it still did not meet the bandwidth score, which is 75. And then when we see the aspect that contribute to the writing, we found that content or ideas here, content is like whether they are confident in writing, and then they clearly focus on what they write. The average score is 70.02. And then the organization referring to a clear translation and focus closure. So they follow the certain template provided for them. And then for vocabulary and word choices, they got 72.06. Vocabulary here referring to the effective and engaging use of word choices. And then voice itself, it's how the writer, or how can these students provide distinct, unique point of view. And then sentence fluency, they got 75. It refers to there is no run-on or fragments sentence, and then they use variety of sentence structure, not only just simple sentence, but a complex sentence, compound sentence as well. And then we did reflection on the first cycle, and then we thought that we need to be clearer in giving and providing the instructions, and then we also need to provide them with certain template provided with guided questions, so they will be able to elaborate ideas. So that's what we found very surprisingly, that they got 94.611, and then it went beyond the success criteria. So the organizations, because we provide them the template provided with questions, guided questions, it helped them to focus on how the structure of the text should be in their writing product. So they got 100 in this cycle. And then what we found in our research here we offer reading material as part of the CRC implementation, and then they can choose one of the material depending on what they're interested with. And then following that, the student read the text aloud together to get the same comprehensions. And then they had a conversation about the material, and then they work collaboratively to conclude what's the material about. And then they considered the prior discussions and agreed to write their final conclusions. Here, they delivered the writing to the class. They completed the assigned reading material with the help of the lecturer. We also provide a template outline for writing their thought on the reading materials or about reading materials here. So even though they read academic articles, usually they're very passive, because in academic articles there are so many terms that they do not familiar with. But then since in this activity they work in groups, they have to talk what they've learned about from reading, they become more active. And then doing or working in group makes them able to solve the problem. They work together to solve the problem. Meaning when they don't feel brave enough to ask a question in class, they can ask their friends, their partner in the group. So in here they can make themselves comprehend of the text. And then since they're working this collaboratively, they do it together, they can do it pretty quickly. So by talking about the idea in their readings, we also observe that they come up with many different ways of thinking. And then it can provide them many alternatives to choose the best ideas that best shows what their group knows related to their academic articles. And then what we conclude from this research is like using the IRC can make the writing activity becomes interesting, and then make the students become active because they have the opportunity to discuss their understanding, and then this also showing that working together rather than independently inspires students in the EFL environment. And then one of the things that when the students are hesitant to approach the lecturer, they might learn from their classmates. And then we also get some value on it rather than competing. They might work toward the same learning goals. Thank you. I think that's all from our presentation. Back to Ms.
Rasi.
Rasi, yeah, thank you. So
All right.
I'll stop share.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Nowadays, we will continue to the next stage. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the fourth speaker of the presentation will be Mr. Angga Maulana and his wife, Mrs. Siska Rizkiani from Universitas Pasundan dan IKIP Siliwangi. They will deliver the material about EFL perseverance in writing research articles and error analysis. Now, please allow me to kindly invite Mr. Angga Maulana and Mrs. Siska Rizkiani to proceed to the stage to deliver the presentation. Mr. Angga and Mrs. Siska, please. Mr. Angga and Mrs. Siska, are you with me now? All right, then. Now we will try to call another speaker. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the fifth speakers of the presentation will be Miss Frishi Fitriani Fauzia and Mr. Freza Fatur Rahman from Universitas Putra, Indonesia. They will deliver the material about analysis on students' grammatical errors in writing paragraphs. Now, please allow me to kindly invite Ms. Frishi and Mr. Freza to proceed to the stage to deliver the presentation. Ms. Frishi and Mr. Freza, the time is yours.
I'm sorry, Ms. Rasi. So here, Bapak Angga have ready to present the material. Is it okay for us to give the chance for Mr. Angga presenting the material for us?
All right. So nowadays will be Mr. Angga and Ms. Siska.
Yeah.
All right. The time is yours, sir. I'm so sorry, sir. You can unmute the speaker first. Mr. Angga, excuse me. You can unmute the microphone first.
Universitas Pasundan and my partner collaborations both in writing this research paper and live. I mean, my wife is Siska Rizkiani from IKIP Siliwangi. How lucky I am having her as my partner in this world, Ibu dan Bapak. To the honorable ladies and gentlemen, in this occasion, I would like to send the great gratitude to the moderator in this room, Ibu Rasi Yugaviati, MPD, and Pak Iman Santoso, MHU. Good afternoon, Ibu dan Bapak. And of course, to all the participants who join this room, welcome to my presentations. Ladies and gentlemen, the title of my research is EFL Pre-Service Teachers in Writing Research Articles and Error Analysis. But first of all, I would like to say sorry if my pronunciation is not too good. And it's a bit hard for you to understand my speech. Mohon dimaafkan ya Ibu dan Bapak. Now allow me to share my screen, Ibu dan Bapak, to start discussions about EFL pre-service teachers in writing research articles and error analysis. Sebentar Ibu dan Bapak ya, I would like to share my screen. Right, here is my paper, Ibu dan Bapak. Mudah-mudahan bisa terlihat ya. I am from Universitas Pasundan. As I told you before that Ibu Siska Rizkiani, my partner, is from IKIP Siliwangi. Here is the contents or the, what is it? Let's say the things that I would like to discuss with all of you in this paper, in these presentations, Ibu dan Bapak. The first one is talking about the introductions and objective. The second one talking about the methods that I am use in this research, result and discussions, and the last one talking about the conclusions, Ibu dan Bapak. Background of the study, Ibu dan Bapak, as you know that in today's situations or the obligations for the students when they are going to finish the study in our university, both in Unpas and in IKIP Siliwangi, the students need to publish a research paper, ya, menghasilkan sebuah artikel, Ibu dan Bapak. That's the reason or the background of the study that I would like to, the reason why I conduct this research with my partner, Ibu dan Bapak. And as you know that I want to know whether they found the problems or not when they writing the paper. Apakah gampang atau susah when they are writing the paper itself. The requirement to publish a research article is the first background of the study, why I conduct the research, and then the second one, I want to know their proficiency in writing research article as the consequence on the students, Ibu dan Bapak, still unfamiliar with writing a proper research article. Students on the fundamental standard of research writing article. Here is, and then the last one, I would like to know the error that I found in the research paper, in the research article, yeah, in the research article writing. That's the background of the study, Ibu dan Bapak. The purpose of the study is to explore students' errors in research article writing. The findings of the study are expected can be used to be the extensive training targeted at helping students to improve their research article writing in EFL situations. As I told you before that I hope that after conducting this research, it can be, let's say it can be a brighter information to all of the teachers or lecturers to improve the students' writing article. What is the method in this research, Ibu dan Bapak? The method that I use in this research, talking about the title of this research, of course, a content analysis method with a quantitative approach. Here is the approach that I use, and then the participants. Saya selalu menyebutkan I. Actually, we have to use we, ya. Saya dan Ibu Siska. Tapi a bit kagok Ibu dan Bapak. I'm so sorry. Tidak apa-apa ya. I mean we. The participants is 20 pre-service English teachers research articles, purposefully sampling, of course, and then the data collection technique, examining, listening, classifying into grammatical, syntactical, and mechanical error, and then data analysis, coding, counting, displaying in percentage, Ibu dan Bapak. Let's move on. I'm going to make it faster, Ibu dan Bapak. Here is the result. of this research, Ibu dan Bapak, you can see that 23.4% wrong usage of tense. As you know that tense here means talking about tenses. Tenses is the time, yeah. Our students mostly having difficult problem in writing the correct words with the correct tenses, yeah. And then 22% is talking about the prepositions, Ibu dan Bapak. Yeah, Ibu dan Bapak, you can see from the table here or the graph, yeah, wrong usage of tense, it's going to be 23.4%, or the most one. Incorrect embedding of determiners or error pronunciations, noun, adjective, verb, prepositions, and article. It is talking about part of speech, Ibu dan Bapak. Yeah, I do believe that Ibu dan Bapak well recognized talking about the part of speech. Yeah. Here is the example of grammatical error, Ibu dan Bapak, that we found. Akhirnya, finally saya bisa bilang we. I'm so sorry. For example, it's talking about the use of articles errors. I don't have to explain, ya, Ibu dan Bapak, talking about articles. Article is the usage of the, whether definite or indefinite article, Ibu dan Bapak, ya. The language game is a fictions and not dangerous if blah 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 blah. And then of course here is the example, the wrong or the error in prepositions errors. The reason of carrying out this research is blah 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 dan lain sebagainya, Ibu dan Bapak. One of the researchers claim that the local tongues will lost. Kenapa ini salah, Ibu dan Bapak? Of course, saya juga tidak perlu menjelaskan. Ini kita perlu menambahkan we need to put be, ya, will be lost. The finding of the research doesn't make sense to the study dan lain sebagainya, Ibu dan Bapak. You can see from the from the slides that I show you. Aduh, ini kenapa belepotan begini, Ibu dan Bapak, ya? I'm so sorry. The other students give an advice, for example, and then incorrect embedding of WH questions. They don't know how they are doing. Yeah, they are doing. The student was silenced. Suddenly, a student stands up. Wrong usage of tense. Lalu next, apa lagi? Syntactical error, Ibu dan Bapak. 25% talking about fragments error, and then 23.8% talking about run-on error, Ibu dan Bapak. You can see from this one. Here is the result, yeah, of my research finding. Here is the example, Ibu dan Bapak, of syntactical error. For example, comma splice, yeah. Participants could leave the research survey at any time. They needed to indicate their preference. The result of the study were inconclusive, comma. Therefore, more research need to be done on the issue. Here is the mechanical error. 41.7%, the mistake or the errors in punctuations, and 35.4% talking about capitalizations. Yeah, jadi some of the students maybe they forgot, actually, bukan tidak tahu, ya, maybe they forgot how to put the capitalizations, Ibu dan Bapak, and punctuations. I do believe that they well known, but maybe forgot, or the process of writing, what is it? Apa ya namanya? They forgot to do the second reading, yeah, second reading, or recheck, yeah, maybe recheck. Example of mechanical error, talking about capitalization, spelling, punctuations, Ibu dan Bapak. For example, since after titik, yeah, it means that the new sentence, so it should be in capital letters. Here is the spelling, for example, the bold one, language. So the results show that the prepositions and tense had the most grammatical errors, Ibu dan Bapak. The findings are comparable to Anjayani and Hum 2016, who concluded that prepositional errors were caused mostly by first language transfer to English writing, and Seton and Mew 2007, who stated that the preposition is a tool for organizing sentences in order to make them relevant and interrelated, and its proper use in writing is required. The findings suggest that students should be provided with practical expertise about preposition and tenses in various components of a research article. Grammar, one of the most important components of language, must be grasped by all EFI students in order to avoid errors in their English writing. Actually, talking about tenses, I have conducted the research how to make the students, or how to make our students in this case, I have the method how to make them mastering the tenses in less than 1 hour, Ibu dan Bapak. But in the next in the next conference, maybe I'm going to tell about how to make the students mastering the tenses. Itu sudah saya buktikan several times in my classes. They master the tenses in a very easy ways. But in this case, here is the problem in the tenses. In syntactical error, the majority of the students syntactically errors committed fragments followed by run-ons. It is lined with the Sharp 2016, who stated that run-ons, fragments, and comma splices are major fault in academic papers, caused primarily by the writer's carelessness. Nah, ini dia, carelessness, Ibu dan Bapak ya, karena kurang hati-hati maybe, and a lack of basic knowledge and abilities in sentence constructions. Despite being exposed to significant linguistic informations, the students were found to have very little awareness of the basic syntactic patterns and style of academic writing. Yarber 2011 acknowledged that syntactic problems originate from the writer's carelessness and incapacity to produce a comprehensive and sensible sentence in these situations. Still, it's talking about carelessness, tidak hati-hati, or they do not conduct the second reading or the third reading, or what we call as before publishing, we need to do the what we call as the I forgot the terms, what is it? Astagfirullahaladzim, I forgot the terms. Bukan recheck sih, tapi I forgot the name. Ya sudahlah, biarkan saja. I forgot the name. Mechanical error, the findings show that punctuations is the most common mechanical error, ya. Jadi almost the same one because of the carelessness and lack of adequate proofreading. Nah, ini proofreading maksudnya Ibu dan Bapak. I forgot, sorry. Proofreading prior to submissions, ya, are the main causes. Jadi mungkin mereka forget to do the proofreading. Here is the conclusion to sum up my research. The result shows that the students made grammatical, syntactical, and mechanical errors, Ibu dan Bapak, ya. Because of what? Because of lack of solid understanding of the basic qualities that must be maintained in academic papers, such as accuracy, clarity, completeness, and comprehensiveness. According to the research results, teachers should introduce students to the fundamentals of research article writing. That's the key points, how to improve the students' writing research article. The students should receive academic writing training as soon as possible, particularly in research articles. Ya, jadi that's the results. How to improve our students' academic writing, Ibu dan Bapak. From error to error one, discover the entire truth. Ini kenapa ya? Ternyata gambarnya tidak terlalu jelas. I'm really sorry, Ibu dan Bapak. Pixelnya tidak terlalu besar. I'm so sorry. That's the conclusions. here is me, my picture. Here is Ibu Siska, my wife. Thank you very much. Thank you. Any questions, please kindly contact me. Here is my email address, Ibu dan Bapak. If you want to, if you want to give suggestions, or if you want to give a question to me, or maybe in the next or in the further research, you want to have a collaborations with me, please kindly contact me in Angga Maulana 1985. Itu umur saya, I'm so sorry. Kalau jadi ketahuan ya, at unpas.ac.id. Thank you very much, Ibu dan Bapak, for your kindly attentions to my speech. See you in another presentations, or in another international conference, or another conferences. Thank you. I'm really sorry for my mistakes, especially the pronunciations, as I told you in the first or in the beginning of my speech. Thank you. See you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, sir. And nowadays we will try to find out again Mr. Khairul Fahmi. Are you with me now, Mr. Khairul Fahmi?
Yes, I'm.
Mashallah, tabarakallah. All right. Excellent. And gentlemen, the second speaker of the parallel session will be Mr. Muhammad Khairul Fahmi from Universitas Muhammadiyah Sumatera Utara. He will deliver the material about digital gamifications in education learning, research mapping through bibliometric studies using Phosphor. Now, please allow me to kindly invite His Excellency, Mr. Khairul Fahmi, to proceed to the stage to deliver the presentations. Mr. Fahmi, please, the time is yours.
Give me time, so I join with my laptop device because I out because the internet is lag and anything. So now I try to on my device laptop. Right. Wait for a minute.
All right. While we waiting for Mr. Khairul Fahmi, I try to find out the last speakers. The last speaker will be Miss Frishi and Mr. Freza. Are you with me now, Miss Frizi and Mr. Freza? Okay, still has a kind of trouble with the device, I think. Well, we will waiting for Mr. Khairul Fahmi.
I'm ready.
All right, thank you anyway. The screen is yours, sir.
Okay, right. Can I share my PowerPoint, right?
Sure.
Okay. Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
I am Muhammad Khairul Fahmi from Faculty of Teaching and Education from English Department, Muhammadiyah University of North Sumatra, be proudly representing my presentation about digital gamification in learning education, research mapping through bibliometric studies using Phosphor. Information and communication technologies have transformed life. This trend is reflected in education, which now emphasizes digital tools proficiency. The application of gamification strategies in education can result in higher students' motivation and engagement with course content. which are the main arguments supporting their adoption. That is to say, they can make learning more attractive and fun, and thus ultimately more effective. So, we can say that the application of gamification in order to successfully apply learning enhancement in technology. It is critical to understand the factors of that encourage students to use gamification. There are many platforms that can be employed for implementing gamification. The possible potential platforms include cloud computing,
Next one,
Recording in progress.
need analysis was conducted from the first until the third step to find out their needs, their wants.
Recording in progress.
We conclude that having students to get students actively involved in the teaching when they are not ready will not produce favorable result. What I'm trying to tell you is that we cannot have one method. Okay, especially in other studies.
Recording in progress.
Thank you.
Sehat,
Sehat
sehat selalu.
Ya.
Recording in characteristic of each student. Teachers always expect to find the most suitable teaching method in every learning and teaching situation. Yeah, I guess that's it for the end. Thank you very much. And back to you, Miss Rati.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Jonathan Taniharjo and Mr. Rex Study for a very great performance and great new insight related to the small group discussion. Okay, thank you for Mr. Jonathan and Mr. Rex Tardi from Universitas Bunda Mulia, North Jakarta, right? Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now let's continue to the fourth speaker. Okay, the fourth speaker of the panel session will be Miss Asnita Sirait from Universitas Katolik Parahyangan. Hello, good afternoon, Miss Asnita.
Good afternoon, Ms. Rati.
Okay, how are you?
Fine, thank you. And you?
Okay, I'm fine too, very good. Nice to see you this afternoon in this webinar.
You too.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to inform you that the title of the paper is Applying Genre-Based Approach in Academic Essay Writing for Bahasa Indonesia course in Parahyangan Catholic University. Ladies and gentlemen, let me allow Miss Asmita Sirait. Please allow me to kindly invite Miss Asmita Sirait to proceed to the stage to deliver the presentation. And Miss Asmita Sirait, the screen and the microphone are yours. Please.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Rati. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's been an honor to have been able to deliver our, because this is actually our team research. Yeah, so it's been an honor to be able to present it here. So my name is Asnita Sirait, and I'm from Universitas Katolik Parahyangan. All right. I would like to present our research. Okay, the title of our research has been read by Ms. Rati. This is applying zonal-based approaches in academic essay for Bahasa Indonesia course in Katolik Parahyangan University or Parahyangan Catholic University. So, why zonal-based approach? So this is started by considering that writing is a very challenging because this is one of the last productive skill. Yeah, from language skill, writing is one of the productive skill where it requires rigidity and complex structure. It is also supported by Oshima and Hodge that writing, particularly academic writing, is not easy. So if you are the students, and if you are the students and you are asked to make an academic writing, yeah, you have to think. We have to think that okay, complex structure, complex rigidity. Yeah, so like writing, particularly academic writing, is not easy. And also the final product of our course MKU Bahasa Indonesia, because I also teach Bahasa Indonesia. That is academic essay. So in the final what we call the final product could be an essay to be published. Yeah, and the students come from various departments, so this is another challenge. Yeah, and they face problems. It can be in the structure, the discourse, and how to make effective sentence. So that's why we are thinking about how to make this easier. There are actually many types or many concept techniques or approaches that we can use, but we choose GPA because GPA helps students to be more competent in language and to communicate through mastery language skills, including listening, speaking, reading, writing activities. So in GPA, actually, all these skills implicitly, in GPA, all the skill implicitly practiced. And this is two research questions that we designed. The first one is, how is the process of applying genre-based approach in writing academic essay? And the second is to measure, how is the effectiveness of GPA to improve academic essay? So after this research, it is expected that the students are able to improve their writing skills, and and also this not only for the students but also for the lecturers to update the teaching guidelines or syllabus. Okay, so as the review literature, GBA or genre-based approach is not a new approach actually. It has been developed by a lot of theories, including Halliday in Australia, and then popularized by Halliday, and also in the more recent research, Roses and Martin, they say that we have 4 stages in applying GBA. We start from building context modeling, joint constructions, and independent constructions. We conduct this research by applying classroom action visit, yeah, where this method aim at obtaining transformations and improving quality of students' achievement results. We take 33 students by purposive sampling, yeah, and we use mixed method. So this is the finding. To answer the first question, so we take we observe and documented the process of applying scenario-based approach. So we start from pre-test. This is to see their background ability, their background knowledge, the rate of their skill. And the next, in the second meeting, so we try to treat the students by applying GPA. So we start by building knowledge. So applying GPA can give the students a broad knowledge about the field, about the topic that they are going to discuss. So this is helping the student to understand types of essay, to bring students closer and familiarize them with the essay themes. Okay, so we give them, if you want to discuss about this topic, so what you have to do, so they have to build the knowledge about the topic they are taking. Okay, and the second, the students have known what they're going to write, or if they are going to write this topic, so what would you familiarize? Okay, that's building knowledge. They have to be knowledgeable about the topic they are going to discuss. And the second is modeling. In this stage, the lecturer provide some samples of essay. So like in Bahasa Indonesia, GB is closer to ATM, amati, tiru, and modifikasi. So in text modeling, before they are ready to write an essay, they have seen some text. So if you want to write about education, so this is text about education, so they can deconstruct, they can see, this is the real example of education essay. So that is modeling. So we give them some model of text. Okay, in text modeling, we give several essays. These essays are also wrote by students of Parahyangan and also some competitions. Okay, so in modeling, they choose one of the 6 texts or essays, and then they will see they will take what can you learn from this essay. Okay, so we call in Bahasa Indonesia bedah essay. So after giving them some essay, you choose one. So this is the example of bedah essay. They take one, like pos-pancana antisipasi selama pandemi. So they take that, and then they find out what are the things that we can learn from this essay. So modeling. So later, after they know about the good things in this essay, they can make that as their model to create their own essay. Okay, and in stage 3, joint constructions. Okay, so we will gather the students. We gather the students, and then in joint constructions, they can talk to other students about the topic they are taking. And the fourth, independent construction. This is the last of GPA steps of a stage. So independent. So after they build knowledge, and then they see the real example of SI, and then they discuss with friends, and the last they're gonna make their own test. They make their own SIN with 2 process. So this is to answer the second formulations. After making some treatments, after doing some treatments, and then we find out that we score or we evaluate about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 aspects of their writing in pre-test. Yeah, this is their score, and then this is posters. Okay, so in pre-test, with the average of 96, it means that they failed. Yeah, but after this treatment, so we find out that they got 76. Yeah, 76 is mean they are here. So it means that using GPA is significant. Yeah, because after posters, they have good improvement. Yeah, previously there are from 32 students, there are 24 students failed, but here only 8 students did not complete. Yeah. Okay, so this is the conclusions. After making or applying series of gender grades, so we can conclude that this approach is significant to improve students' ability. Okay, and GPA also helps students improve their writing skill by building knowledge to familiarize them to the topic, and then modeling. They know other essays, they know the real essay, and then giving time to share with friends by joint constructions and independent constructions, and they can produce their own essay. But even though this is significant, we can see that there is a weakness where this approach has to be done in several meetings. Yes, so it means that before we conduct, yeah, so it cannot be given in only 2 meetings. So we have to give maybe 4 meetings to get best result. So it means that learning planning should be maximized from the start. So that's all about the result of our research. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ibu Asnita Said, Miss Asnita Said from Universitas Katolik Parahyangan. Thank you for great presentation and for the great new insight from your performance approach. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, finally we